Okay, so the third episode of Loki, Lamentis, dropped on Disney Plus today. I've been a really big fan of this show so far. What did you think? Let me know. And now, I shall let you know. Really, the only negative stuff I have to say about this episode is I figured that there was going to be more stuff involving the TVA, and there wasn't really. Also, it felt kind of like a side quest, similar to the some of the side quest episodes that the Mandalorian did. I mean, it was less egregious than the ones that the Mandalorian did because this was only one episode, but still, that was the case for me at least. However, this episode is amazing. It makes up for those very minuscule mistakes with some truly phenomenal sequences. I think the banter between Sylvie and Loki is some of the best stuff in any of these Marvel TV shows so far. And I'm not just talking about WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and then this. Like all the Marvel TV shows. Not many of which I've seen, but still. Anyway, so yes, that element was fantastic. I loved the two actors' chemistry and how they kind of bounced off of each other in that they're so similar that they're just bound to hate each other. The action, as usual with Marvel, is great. The music is still great, and it was just a really solid episode. The humor is still on point, and then there's just some really fun little things sprinkled throughout this episode, like Loki doing this really deep voice and just saying hi to various passengers, and that was just really funny. And then Loki sings a song in Asgardian, which was so hysterical, and I love it. Man, it was funny. I also really liked the scene where Loki did the thing from Thor. He threw down a glass and yelled, "Another!" That was hysterical. There were also just some really deep conversations between Loki and Sylvie, especially the scene where Loki basically alludes to the fact that he's bisexual. This is a pretty big step for Marvel because while Disney as a company overall has had like seven different first openly gay characters, which has bothered me for a while because like in the movie Cruella that just came out this year, my only problem with that movie was that there was a character who was said on the Wikipedia page, from my knowledge, to be openly gay, the first openly gay character in a Disney movie, of which there has been many. And he wasn't really openly gay. He was just obsessed with fashion. So it kind of annoyed me that they just had a stereotype of homosexuality and just said he was openly gay. That really bothered me. This was perfectly executed. I think it was subtle enough that, I mean, with a character like Loki, you don't need to draw a lot of attention to his sexuality because, I mean, what romantic relationship is he going to have? But I think this is a great milestone for Disney. I'm really glad that they put that in there. And I think the last like 2.5 minutes of this episode are some of the coolest things in all of these Marvel TV shows, and just wow, it's pretty much done with all music and explosion noises and yelling in the background. There's no real dialogue, and I think it's just done perfectly. It captures the anxiety so well, and the song that they play at the end, Dark Moon, that's gonna be stuck in my head for days, weeks, probably years. Anyway, I also liked that they alluded to some mysterious stuff and a little bit of corruption going on in the TVA, where it was like Loki was told in the first two episodes that the timekeepers created everyone in the TVA, and then here's Sylvie just like, nope, none of that's true. Just don't believe any of that. They're all variants, and that I really liked. So overall, yeah, this is probably my favorite episode of the show so far. Aside from the fact that it feels like a side quest, I think it just edges out the first one in terms of quality, and just edges out the second one because the second and first one were pretty close in quality, with the first one being slightly better. I also just love the location of Lamentis 1. Anyway, so, alright, yeah, those are my thoughts on Loki Episode 3. I'm probably going to continue doing these week-to-week reviews of each episode, and then after the show concludes, doing like a ranking of all the episodes, of the characters, and perhaps even a retrospective on the entire show. Or just a ranking of all 3 of these Marvel TV shows so far. Anyway, thank you all as always for watching. Keep calm and watch on.